Welcome to another edition of Stephen Follows Instructions. Let's make sure I'm not uploading stuff. No, I'm not. Good. That's just to make sure the video works. Today, we are going to spin up a ghost Docker container in Reclaim Cloud. So, here's the instructions from Jim Groom, and here I am, all ready to go. And Ghost is a super simple blogging application. Here's the website to Ghost. It's just ghost.org. Turn your audience into a business. Maybe it does do more than just website. I don't know. Anyhow, whatever it is, we're going to try to get it up and running on Reclaim Cloud. Reclaim Cloud, so that's cloud hosting offered by Reclaim Hosting, which is the service that was created by Jim Groom and Company. I use them for my personal website, and I also experiment quite a bit with their service. So I actually feel fairly confident with it, and therefore I feel fairly confident that this is going to work. So, right, we're going to run it in Docker. Using Docker Engine, which I guess Pilot's a person, right? Yes, running Ghost on Reclaim Cloud. Yeah, right, it did not work. Okay, so those are the actual page-by-page instructions. We'll come back to that if we need to. One of the things that's a bit different here is that we have videos instead of actual instructions. I'm not really a fan of that, but then again, I say that and I've done that quite a bit. So I'm not sure how long this video is. Oh, 9 minutes. Is this the whole thing? I don't know.
Okay. My name is Jim with Reclaim Hosting, and I'm going to do a
Hi,
video
Jim.
about spinning up Ghost using Docker on Reclaim Cloud.
All right.
This was inspired actually by a post by one of Reclaim's own, Pilot Irwin. They were looking to install the one-click installer for Ghost on Reclaim Cloud. So it's in our marketplace, and after doing that, they found that it's actually not up to date. And we were looking together for another alternative, and this blog post really breaks down what we did. And the other option was using Docker Engine, which we kind of played around with a bit, and there was a few extra steps. So this morning I played around with just running Ghost from Docker Hub. So I'm going to show you that right now, and I'm going to disappear myself, and hopefully
Bye, Jim.
we'll actually demonstrate the process for quickly and pretty easily installing Ghost, which is a blogging platform, and I'll talk more about that in a second, on Reclaim Cloud. So
All right.
the first thing you do is you spin up a new environment, you select the Docker instance. You don't actually need any of that. You just go to select an image.
Whoa. Okay. First. Okay. All right. All that preview and then zoom. We're right into it. So first then, let's go to Reclaim Cloud, which is reclaim.cloud. And so here I am, and I have to log in. So I'll log in. Ta-da. All right. And yes, I paid them $25 the other day. This Reclaim to me is almost free, Reclaim Cloud. Although if I start using it for stuff, like right now I don't have anything running on it. Alright, so what's next? Let's come back to Jim again. We'll back up just a wee bit here. Let's see what he did.
On Reclaim Cloud. So first thing you do is you spin up a new environment.
Okay, so he clicked up here somewhere. New environment. So let's just make that a bit bigger so you can see it. So we clicked on new environment. And okay, and that gave us this screen. So let's get it back down to. Oh, how annoying. Let's try that again. New environment. Okay, there we go. That gave us this screen. Let's make that a bit bigger. Oh, it doesn't get bigger if I do that. There we go. To make this bigger, you make the text smaller. How about that? All right, now what did he do?
You select the Docker instance. You don't actually need any of that. You just go to select it.
Select the Docker instance. You don't need any of that. That's true. Select image, right? And all right, so now we're going to need to get more instruction here.
Image. And then from there, you would search here in Docker Hub for Ghost.
All right.
I know that the first image that shows up is going to be the actual official image. And if you click...
Okay, so let's search. There's search. We'll type Ghost. Hit enter, I guess. Loading. And the first image he says is the official Ghost image. You can kind of tell, right? Like, these are all like other people with Ghost. But this is just Ghost. So we're going to click on that. And alright. Then nothing happened, so let's get rid of that. Stupid Google / YouTube advertising in the middle of the thing that I'm trying to do. Go away.
Click on this link right here for more details.
Right.
It will take you here and show you that's the official Ghost image, which is good. I highly recommend you using the official Ghost images in case there's any issues. Those are the kind of, that's the official place
Right.
to go, so that's what I usually install.
And then
So
click next.
Go to next.
No,
That's all set.
don't say go to next. Say click next. Alright. So now we've got a whole bunch of options. Probably we're going to just go with the defaults again. Right, Jim?
One of the things to keep in mind is you do not need to run a public IP address on this because we're going to do that on the load balancer that we install. So you can
Okay. Oh, that's worth knowing. Okay. So we don't need public IP4, so that's off. Okay. So we don't actually turn it off, it already was off. Right? Yeah, it's hard to tell. So this is interesting. He has access versus... Okay, let's back up a wee bit here. Okay. Look at that. Access versus SLB is on. Public IP4 is off. Now he's going to click.
address on this because we're going to do that on the load balancer that we install, so you can turn this off. Actually, keep it off. It was off. And then the other thing.
Now, interesting, right? See, he sort of accidentally made this go to off. I don't know if he planned to do that. So I'm going to do the same. I don't know what access via SLB is. Shared load balancer. No, that's going to need to be on, Jim. That's going to need to be on. Maybe? I don't know. Okay, well, let's just keep going here.
Thing is, I'm going to name my environment. I'm going to call it Ghost Container.
All right, that's a good idea. I never do, and I always pay for that. So, Ghost container. So I'm gonna call mine Downs Ghost. All right. Okay, let's keep going. I can't name it the same as his because as we can see here on ours, this is actually a URL that we're defining here. So let's make that a bit bigger so it's easier to see. You see how that's a URL, right? So, well, that is a bit smaller when I pip it like that. Let's make that bigger again. There we go. All right. Okay. Keeping going here.
And then that will be the full URL of the Ghost install. We'll map a domain on that.
Yeah.
And if I wanted it in another region, I would just select the region. I'm going to keep it.
Okay, let's select a region. I want it in Canada. It's already in Canada. Jim will probably want it somewhere not Canada, but I don't care where he wants his. So there are many regions we could choose. US East, US West, Canada, UK, and more details, whatever that region is. No, I'm just kidding. So, okay, there are 4 regions you can choose. So, but pick Canada because we have like real privacy protection laws here. Or well, no, not the UK anymore. They're not Europe anymore. All right, never mind. Don't get yourself in trouble, Stephen. Okay, what's next?
In the UK. And then the other thing we do, besides selecting the Ghost container, is we want to put a load balancer on top of this.
All right. So let's put a load balancer on top of this. So he clicked, I guess, on balancing up here. Okay. I think that's what he did. That appears to be what he did. So clicked. And then did he click on that? Maybe. Let's try clicking on that. No. Okay, well, let's just follow what he's done then. Because I'm not seeing this. Let's back up just a sec.
On top of this. And that will allow us to map a domain. So I'm going to use Nginx, the latest version.
Oh, okay. So we're actually picking a type of load balancer. Okay, I see. Docker image. Okay, so he clicked on balancing, and then this little down arrow here, and he picked Nginx, the latest version. I will pick the same. Nginx is well known as a load balancer. Okay.
I click next. And for the Nginx container, I want to make sure that IP version 4 is on, so that we do have an IP address for that.
Okay, so are we in the engine dealing with the Nginx container? Oh, how did we get to it? Ghost latest. Did he click next maybe? No. Alright, how did we get that screen there? Okay. Okay, he's selected that.
I'm going to click next.
Aha, okay. So he clicked next. Alright, so, alright, we've selected Nginx, then we go down, click next. Alright, here we go. So we do want public IPv4 on. And so, as it says up here, the access via SLB option for the application services layer was automatically disabled. Okay. So, okay, now, let's come back. Alright, let's keep going.
Nginx container, I want to make sure that IP version 4 is on, so that
Right.
we do have an IP address for that. So IP address for the load balancer, not for the Docker container. We should be all set now. I can now click on this, and at ghostcontainer.uk.reclaim.cloud, we will soon have an instance.
Alright, let's see what happens. Create. So I guess this, yeah, this is Ghost, right? And this is Nginx. And this is kind of cool, right? Because this is my application. then I could get different images for different things, like a database, an SQL database, or a cache, or storage, or whatever. See, I should have explored all this before. Okay, create. It's creating. So now, this is going to take a few minutes to create. Probably faster than Grasshopper ever was, but as I recall, Ghost just saves its files locally. So that's why it doesn't need a database or anything like that. Super simple sort of setup. Creating. Let's see what Jim has to say here while his is creating.
So why Ghost? What is Ghost? Ghost is actually a blogging platform. It started as a blogging platform, as an alternative to such popular platforms as like WordPress, etc. And it is actually, in the last several years, morphed into a pretty robust newsletter publishing
okay.
platform. And so Reclaim Hosting is going to be putting out a newsletter monthly, and I figured it would be good for us to explore Ghost, which is an open source application. We can install it on the cloud, and then also a demonstration for us of Reclaim Cloud and what's possible. So that is kind of the story behind getting Ghost up and running, and it should be up and running here pretty soon.
How are we doing?
The version that we have in our marketplace is outdated, as I noted, and I found that it even took a little bit longer to spin that up than the container. The marketplace version is not using a Docker container, it's using a custom environment. We'll have to reach out to Jelastic, which is the software that's running Reclaim Cloud, and find out if they're going to update that. That's still fairly easy to install a one-click, but people asked, how do you do this with Docker? So I figured a quick video to show you how might work.
Definitely.
It is still working here, so
yeah, it's taking longer for you than it did for me. I thought you might just skip time here or something, but no.
this thing I'm going to have to look at in.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Think about how would I pause the recording. So anyway, here it is. Our environment.
Here it is.
Set up. We have the load balancer here, right? And that's going to give us the IP address, which we will need. And then we also have the Ghost container, which is this environment.
Okay, let's check and see that we have that. So, okay, we didn't need this little bleepy thing. Now, this will probably have sent me email too. Yeah, see, check this out. Right? A new Ghost container has been added. It's going to give me all the information. Right? So here's the new Ghost environment created, and then the Docker container. So use your public IP. Whoops. Okay, I'll have to redo that later. Okay. So we'll close this off. So the password for my container is in my email there, should I ever need to access that. Here's the Downs Ghost. You can see there's two containers under it. One is the load balancer, which is the Nginx web server. The other is the application server itself, Ghost. And so the way this would be set up, right, is that the load balancer would receive the request, and then based on the request forward it to Ghost. So there's a port connection between Nginx and Ghost. It's behind the scenes, defined in a Docker file somewhere, and so Ghost will send its response to the load balancer. The idea here is you can have one load balancer and then several instances of Ghost, so that if you get busy, the load balancer just sends it to an idle instance of Ghost while all the other instances are working. But we don't need all that because we're not that popular. Let's continue.
So this is crucial because one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to map the Ghost container. We're going to map a domain onto the load balancer, so it's not.
Oh, okay. Let's listen to that again. This isn't done automatically the way I thought it was. All right, let's listen to that again.
Do is going to map the a domain onto the load balancer. So it's not going to be ghostcontainers.uk/cloud, but rather it's going to be ghost.bavatuesdays.com. So I'm going to go to Cloudflare, which is where I'm managing the DNS for my blog, and I'm
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Right. Okay. What he wants to do, he wants it to. Right. He wants the URL to be Bava Tuesdays. Okay, that's good enough.
going to put in that IP address, right? So it's going to be ghost.bavatuesdays.com, and I'm just pointing in a record to that IP, and I will save that.
All right. So for me, it's a bit different because I'm not using Cloudflare to manage my IPs. I'm actually using Reclaim. So that's pretty interesting. So let's go into Reclaim. So here's Reclaim. Now this is like portal.reclaimhosting.com, and then I'll log into that. And so now my domains are here. So my domains, right? And so here are the different domains. Whoops. Selected, no records found. Oh, well, what the hell? I always get this wrong. Transfer domains to us, next due date. Accounts, my account. My domains. No, I know I have domains. Maybe there's somewhere else. I always get this wrong. Let's go into cpanel, downs.ca. Alright, domains. Okay. Domains. I'll click on that. Yeah, I always get this wrong. Okay. So, this is the same thing here that he's pointing to there, right? So, this is his Cloudflare. Let's make this bigger. So, see, this is his Cloudflare. And you can see the A records. As you can't see it very clearly, can you? There should be a way to just see this more clearly on YouTube itself. Okay, there we go. That might be better. So, yeah, that's better. Okay, so, again, still not as clear as it could be, but let's make this bigger. Yeah, that's lovely. So you see here, he's got various, right, the MX, those are mail domains. Text is just text information to verify ownership of things. A is his actual web domains, right? So, for example, here, tumblr.bavatuesday.com is defined here. Matter.bavatuesday.com. Now, we don't see ghost in here. Oh, there it is up there, right? Ghost, da-da-da-da. So now I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to, let's first check and make sure I don't already have, I do have one. Okay. So I have Ghost already installed on the regular cPanel. I'm going to uninstall that. I never did use it. But all I need to do here is now point this domain. So I'll edit this record. So let's see. Let's manage. If it was a new record, I would just create it. So here's the okay, redirects to not redirected document root. Okay, that's the existing document root. Oh, if you remove this, it will delete it from your account. Right. Let's actually remove it. All right. Yes, remove the domain. Okay. So that's the old one. You don't need to worry about that. But now I'm going to go back to my domains. Okay. So here we are. Now I'm going to create a new domain. So ghost.downs .ca. All right. And I'm going to submit. Can take a moment to create a new domain. Okay. I wonder what's we're not really mapping these, are we? Yeah, we should be mapping. Should be able to map these. Force HTTPS redirect main domain. No, this isn't right. These aren't my my mail accounts either. These aren't my A accounts. Oh no, I'm stuck. Dang it. It's just I need to remember where I've put those. All my accounts. List domains. Let's come back here. Domains, add-on domains, subdomains, zone editor. Right. That's where I always get messed up. Okay. So here's where they are. So I want to see if I just click manage, this will show me all these A records. You see? Downs.ca, mail.downs.ca, etc. That's a C name because that redirects to Google Mail. That's a C name because it redirects to downs.ca, etc. Right? So I'm going to create a new record here. So I'm going to hit add record and valid zone name ghost.downs.ca with a period at the end. TTL is time to live. Okay. Type A, and now IPv4 address is going to be what Jim was talking about here. Right. So let's come back here a wee bit. We'll back up a wee bit. We'll back up a lot. All right. Speak, Jim.
Containers.uk.reclaim.cloud, but rather it's going to be ghost.babatuesdays.com. So I'm going to go to Cloudflare, which is where I'm managing the DNS for my blog, and I'm going to put in that IP address.
Okay, now where did that IP address come from? Let's go back. So that IP address was the IP address, the v4 IP address for the load balancer. So let's come over here to mine. So the IP address, I have to click on that little arrow here. And I don't seem to have one. Why don't I have one? I have one here. Well, that's the opposite of what I wanted. That's not how I defined this. The load balancer doesn't have an IP address. Let's turn that on, apply. So now it's attaching an IP address, and I don't need this IP address. So now I'm attaching one to the load balancer and detaching. I don't know why it turned out that way. That's the opposite of how I defined it. That's pretty weird. Okay, so now let's make sure that I'm consistent with what he has. So there's mine, the 51, and here I can just click on that to copy it. And now let's check. See, he doesn't have, or well, he hasn't even put the little arrow down, but he doesn't have one for Ghost. He has a 51 IP address for his Ghost load balancer, and now that's what I have here. Again, I don't know why it came out to be the opposite of what I had intended, but it, as you can see, it's easily fixed. All right, so let's go put that in here. Paste. All right, and we'll save the record. Let's move on. So, a little bit of trickery there, Jim. People who are using Reclaim might not be using Cloudflare.
Which is where I'm managing the put in
Yeah.
that IP address, right? So it's going to be ghost.babatuesdays.com, and I'm just pointing in a record for that IP,
Yeah.
and I will save that. So that's great. And then after that, I'm going to be able to, hopefully, pretty seamlessly map a domain on top of this instance. Now, one of the things that's important when you do this, and one of the reasons we use the load balancer is not only for domain mapping, but also for a security or an SSL search. So let's go back here. And a couple of things I want to do is I want to click on this add-ons thing, and I
Whoop.
want to make
Whoop.
sure that we have a SSL cert for the
Okay, let's go back here, he said. Okay, let's go back.
This add-ons thing.
All right.
So let's go back here.
Here is Here is back to our Reclaim Cloud environment. All right. So we'll just put it back to the way he has his. No SLB access. I still don't know what that is. Latest. It could be a problem. We'll find out. Well, he has no SLB access on his either. Okay, good enough. All right, let's continue.
And a couple of things I want to do is I want to click on this add-ons thing, and I want to make sure that we have a SSL search for the domain I just mapped. So I click there, and then I...
All right. So let's do that. So the load balancer. Oh, did he? Oh, yeah, he must have clicked here. So there's the add-ons. We'll click on that. All right. Let's encrypt free SSL. Install. All right. So there's a little note there. Leave blank. Okay, let's see what he's done now. Oh, his is different. Okay, it says external domains. Alright, oh, he started to type in external domains is what's happened. Okay, let's see what he types.
I put in ghost.babatuesdays.com, so that's the domain it's living at.
Alright, so I'll do mine for ghost.downs.ca. Alright.
I'll check for typos because I do a lot, and then I am going to click install.
And I'm going to do the same. Check for typos because I do a lot, and I'm going to click install. Alright, so that's going to happen.
And so at this point, the domain I just mapped for this Ghost instance should also have an SSL cert installed.
That means
I'll let that happen.
HTTPS.
And the other thing I can do while that is happening is I can just go to the main domain I originally started. So that would be ghost.uk, no, ghost container. .uk.reclaim.cloud. And if I go there, I do see my instance.
Okay, so what did I call mine originally? Downs Ghost, right? So, what was that? Downs Ghost. Downs Ghost. Dot reclaim. Oops, reclaim. Dot, what was it? His was cloud, right? Or no, his was. I can't see the URL from here. Oh, UK. Okay, and mine was CA probably. That's ca.reclaim.cloud. And there it is. Woohoo! Okay, that's really good news. All right. So Let's Encrypt has been installed. Okay, let's continue with what Jim is doing.
And if I go there, I do see my instance of Ghost has been installed.
Yep.
I have not actually set it up yet, but
No.
I could go to something like Ghost and it will ask me to kind of set up my admin and create my.
Let's see if it does that. What was that? Ghost? I've lost. Okay. Ghost. Yeah, and now it's going to ask me to create my account, etc., etc. Okay. Okay, back to Jim and his video. Okay.
A new account. I'm not going to do that right now. We can look at that in a sec. But in this case, it's all set. The last piece was really getting that domain mapped, and that requires not only pointing from Cloudflare, the A record, which we did,
Right.
and that's right here, but also it requires making sure the SSL cert is in.
Right.
So I'm waiting a bit on that. Hopefully that will configure here soon. And then once that does, I should be able to see Ghost from ghost.babatuesdays.com. And at that point, we're up and running. There are
And I should be able to see it. See, mine now is already. Whoops. Mine has already done. It's already done. It actually updates automatically, so I'm never going to have to worry about this again. But let's see if ghost.downs.ca is working. Yes, it is. All right, and then if I do Ghost, I can set up my account. All right, let's keep going.
things that I'll do quick tutorials on, but not here. I'll be doing it on how you set up the email for the newsletter using a third-party email service.
Yes, yes,
And then
yes.
also, how you would actually use Ghost for something like this. So some more kind of specific guides around using Ghost.
Yes, yes, yes.
Or actually updating Ghost as well is a good one. So those are some guides you can look forward to.
More tutorials,
Anyway,
please.
I think it should have worked. So I have my Ghost. I'm going to go here to ghost.babatuesdays.com. And so if everything went right, and it did,
And
I'm
it
now
did.
at ghost.babatuesdays.com. It's not showing an SSL cert yet, and that may still be taking time. But if I do that, it will actually show that it is. So that's awesome. So actually, that is how you use a Docker container from Docker Hub to get a Ghost instance up and running. And the beauty of this is it's the latest version. And in a subsequent video, I'll show you how to actually update Ghost from the command line on Reclaim Cloud.
Sounds good, Jim.
Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you have fun with the cloud. And see you next time.
Okay, now what he probably should have said there is don't just leave your thing sitting there like this. Actually create your account. I can probably change the title to anything later, so I'll just call it Downs Ghost. Ghost, full name, email address, and let's see, Downs Ghost. And I'll create a password. Oh, this connection is not secure. I should be all right anyways, but yeah. Okay. Oops. Let's try that again. Arg. Oh, it doesn't like my... It's calling that an insecure password? Really? Alright, let's do it like this. Yeah, it likes that. Okay. Update. All right. So, and then invite staff users, but I don't. Well, maybe let's invite myself. No, I don't need to invite staff users. I'll do this later. Take me to my site. All right, and now here I am. I'm in the admin screen for my Ghost website. So yeah, don't leave that hanging. Do that right away so that other people can't come in and take your Ghost from you. All right, that's it. I have to go to Costco, but this is a successful Downs follows instructions. Yay, out to go, Jim. You nearly had me with the Cloudflare thing. And that might catch people by surprise. I can easily imagine that being a blocker for some people. If you haven't done it before, you're sort of like, what? Wait, what? Cloudflare? And you notice how I always forget where to do it on Reclaim hosting, which is probably where most Reclaim Cloud people will be doing their domain management. Anyhow, that's it for me. I'm Stephen Downs. Out for now. Bye, everyone.